Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. I am happy to welcome you all for our online learning. Class 12, subject Biozoology, Chapter 2, Human Reproduction. Today we are going to discuss about maintenance of pregnancy and embryonic development. In the previous class we discussed about fertilization and implantation. Now we are going to learn about the maintenance of pregnancy. The inner cell mass of blastula, that means blastocyst. Blastocyst has two different types of cells. This is called tropoplast, and inside that 20 to 30 cell mass, that is called inner cell mass. Blastocyst is nothing but 100 cell stage. This blastocyst only implant in the uterine wall. Okay, so the inner mass of this blastocyst is differentiated into epiblast and another one is hypoblast. So once again I am repeating, the inner mass of this blastula or blastocyst is differentiated into epiblast and hypoblast. Immediately after implantation, you know very well, implantation is the attachment of the blastocyst in the uterine wall of the female reproductive body. Okay, so the hypoblast is the embryonic endoderm. The hypoblast is nothing but embryonic endoderm, and the epiblast is nothing but it is termed as ectoderm. Endoderm, ectoderm and mesoderm are the germ layers of the embryo. Okay, so the hypoblast is the embryonic endoderm, while the epiblast is the ectoderm. In between the endoderm and exoderm there will be a tissue called mesoderm. So the cell remaining between epiblast and the hypoblast forms the mesoderm. Okay, thus the transformation of blastocyst is nothing but 100 cell stage. It has two different types of tissues, tropoblast, another one is inner mass cells. So inner mass cells is nothing but 20 to 30 cell structure. Okay, so the transformation of the blastocyst into gastrula with the formation of germ layers is called gastrulation. So gastrulation is nothing but transformation of blastocyst into gastrula with the formation of germ layer is called gastrulation. Each germ layer, ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm, these are all the germ layers. Each germ layers give rise to specific tissues, organs and organ system during organogenesis. Organogenesis is nothing but formation of organs. Clear? So each germ layer, ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm give rise to specific tissues, specific organs and organ system during organogenesis. The extra embryonic membrane, you know very well embryo, the extra embryonic membrane, namely amnion, please repeat, amnion, yolk sac, allantosis, chorion, protects the embryo from desiccation, that means complete dryness, and mechanical shock, and help in the absorption of nutrients as well as the exchange of gases. I am telling one more time, the extra embryonic membranes such as amnion, yolk sac, allantoin, and then allantos, chorion, protects the embryo from desiccation, mechanical support, as well as it helps in the absorption of nutrients and also in the exchange of gases. Clear? The first embryonic membrane, amnion. The amnion is double layered, double membrane layered, transparent. Transcoolant is nothing but transparent. Transparent membrane filled with amniotic fluid. So the amnion is a double membrane, double walled, double layered membrane. It is a transparent membrane filled with amniotic fluid. It provides buoyant environment. What is the meaning of buoyant environment? Flow. It able to flow in that amniotic fluid. It provides a buoyant environment to protect the developing embryo from injury, regulates the temperature, and also provides the medium in which the fetus can easily move. So the amnion provides the biotic environment to the embryo, developing embryo from injury, regulates the body temperature, and also provides the medium in which the fetus can able to move. The next embryonic membrane, yolk sac. Yolk sac forms the part of the gut, and it is the source of the earliest blood cells and blood vessels. So from the yolk sac only the blood cells and blood vessels are going to form. Okay. See the structure of human fetus with within the uterus. You know very well, this is the uterus. Inside the uterus, the fetus is growing. Okay, this is called fallopian tube. The other name for fallopian tube is oviduct. Okay, so once the fertilized ovum, it is present in the fallopian tube, the fertilized ovum divides into so many stages. It forms so many stages and it slowly comes out from the fallopian tube and it is deposited or attached in the uterine wall. Okay, so later on the fetus will slowly grows inside the uterus. See here, this is the umbilical cord. Umbilical cord connects the fetus with the placenta with the uterine wall. Okay, so placenta is a temporary endocrine organ. So placenta is a temporary endocrine organ. It is attached in the uterine wall. So through this the umbilical cord connects with the fetus. It provides the nourishment, it provides the nutrition to the developing embryo. So see the embryonic membrane, extra embryonic membrane. First one is amnion. This is called amnion, and this fluid present here is amniotic fluid. See here, amniotic fluid, and this is called chorion. This is called chorion, and this fluid is called amniotic fluid. Here the fetus is slowly growing, and then this part is called allantois. And this structure is said to be placental villi, or also called as chorionic villi. Okay, so this is the structure of human fetus with the uterus. The next embryonic membrane is allantois. Allantois forms a small out pocket of embryonic tissue at the caudal end of the embryo sac. Caudal end of the embryo sac. See here. And this is called fetus, and this is said to be yolk sac. Yolk sac is present in the caudal end. Okay, and this is called the fallopian tube, you know very well, and this is called uterus, and this fluid is said to be amniotic fluid, and this is said to be amnion, and this is said to be chorion. So these are the extra embryonic membranes. Here allantois is present here. Allantois forms the small pocket of embryonic tissue at the caudal end of the embryo sac. This is the caudal end of the embryo sac. So this is called allantois. It is the structural base for the umbilical cord, and it links the embryo to the placenta. So the allantois acts as a base for the umbilical cord, and with the help of this it connects the embryo with the placenta. Placenta is nothing but a small endocrine organ. It is present only during the pregnant time. It is formed only during the pregnant time. Okay. So the allantois is the structural base for the umbilical cord, and it links the embryo to the placenta, and ultimately it becomes part of the urinary bladder. The chorion is the outermost membrane. I said no, this is called chorion. Chorion is the outermost membrane. Chorion is the outermost membrane. What membrane? Embryonic membrane, which encloses the embryo. So chorion is the outermost membrane which encloses the embryo and all other membranes, and also helps in the formation of placenta. Placenta is nothing but a temporary organ. Okay. So chorion is the outermost membrane. Which enclose the full embryo. Enclosed means cover the embryo and all other membranes. What are the all other membranes? Allantoin, and then amnion, amniotic fluid. All these are the membranes of embryo. Okay. So that chorion is the outermost one. It covers, it envelopes all other membrane and also helps in the formation of placenta. The trophoblast cells in the blastocyst. This cell is said to be Trophoblast. Trophoblast. This is called blastocyst. 100 cell stage, that is called blastocyst. This layer is said to be the trophoblast. The trophoblast in the blastocyst send out several finger-like structure, finger-like projection called chorionic villi. The chorionic villi is also called as placental villi. So, the trophoblast of the blastocyst send out several finger-like projection called chorionic villi carrying fetal blood. It carries fetal blood and are surrounded by sinus that contains maternal blood. The chorionic villi or placental villi and the uterine tissue form the disc-shaped placenta. The shape of the placenta is disc-shaped. This is the disc-shaped placenta. Okay. So, the chorionic villi and the uterine tissue forms the disc-shaped placenta. Placenta is the temporary endocrine gland, endocrine organ, okay, formed during the pregnancy, and it connects the fetus. So, placenta connects the fetus to the uterine wall through umbilical cord. Once again I am repeating, placenta is a temporary endocrine organ formed only during the pregnancy, and it connects the fetus to the uterine wall. It connects the fetus to the uterine wall through umbilical cord. Clear? It is the organ. Placenta is the organ by which the nutritive, respiratory and excretory functions are fulfilled. So, with the help of the umbilical cord, placenta supplies the food to the fetus, nutrition to the fetus, respiratory gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide, as well as the excretory functions are carried out. Okay. So, the embryonic heart develops during the 4th week of gestation, during the 4th week of pregnancy, and circulates the blood through umbilical cord and placenta as well as through its own tissues. So, the blood circulation and the heart develops only after 4th week of the embryo's development. Okay. So, the primary germ layers, ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm, these are the primary germ layers, serves as the primitive tissue. Primitive tissue is nothing but first formed tissues, and in which all organs, body organs are slowly developed. So, the primary germ layers give rise to all parts of the body. The ectoderm give rise to, ectoderm is one of the primary germ layer. It give rise to the central nervous system, that is brain and the spinal cord, as well as the peripheral nervous system, and then epidermis and its derivatives and mammary gland. So, all these are developed by the ectoderm. Ectoderm only give rise to central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, and then epidermis and its derivatives as well as the mammary gland. The second germ layer forms the connective tissue, cartilage, bones, muscles and organs of urogenital system. So, second germ layer is nothing but mesoderm. The mesoderm give rise to connective tissue, cartilages, bones, muscles and urinogenital system, that is kidney, ureter and gonads arise from the mesoderm. Okay. The third one, the endodermal derivatives. The endodermal derivatives are epithelium of gastrointestinal and respiratory tract, liver, pancreas, thyroid and parathyroids. So, these are the different germ layers give rise to different parts of the body. Okay. The human pregnancy lasts for about 280 days, that is 40 weeks, and is called the gestation period. For our convenience, it can be divided into 3 trimesters. Each trimester has 3 months. So the human pregnancy lasts for about 40 weeks, that is 280 days. That period is said to be the gestation period, and it can be divided for our convenience into 3 trimesters. Each trimester has 3 months. The first trimester is the main period. In that trimester, the organs, the body organs, especially the heart, the limbs, the lungs are slowly grows. I am repeating once again. The first trimester is the main period of organogenesis, that is formation of organ. The body organs, namely the first one, heart, limbs. Limbs is nothing but movable parts, that is hands and legs. Limbs, lungs, liver, and the external genital organs, as well as some other important internal organs are well developed during the first trimester. By the end of the second trimester, that is by the end of the 6th month, the face is well formed or well developed. The eyelids are formed, eyelashes are formed, and then eyes are ready to blink, and then body is covered with fine hair, and also muscle tissue develops, and then bones became harder when at the end of the 6th month. At the end of the 3rd month, heart, limbs, kidneys, all the organs are slowly formed or produced. At the end of the 6th month, that is the end of the second trimester, the face is well formed with features, eyelids, eyelashes, eye blinks, and then body is covered with fine hair, muscle development, the muscle tissue develops, and bones became harder at the end of the 6th month. Then the fetus is fully developed or grown at the end of the 9th month. So the fetus is fully developed and ready to come out, ready for the delivery by the end of the 9th month, that is called a 3rd trimester. Once it reached the 9th month only, the fetus is fully developed. All the organs are fully developed, the bones became very hard. So then the fetus is ready to come out from the mother's home. During pregnancy, the placenta acts as the temporary endocrine gland. Okay, so during pregnant time only, the placenta acts as a temporary endocrine gland. It secretes so many hormones. It produces large quantities of human chorionic gonadotropin, that is called HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin hormone, and then human chorionic somatotropin, HCS, and then human placental lactogen, HPL, estrogen and progesterone. These hormones are produced by the placenta. Placenta acts as a temporary endocrine gland. This endocrine gland secretes 5 hormones. The first one is human chorionic gonadotropin. The second one is human chorionic somatotropin, and the third one is human placental lactogen. The fourth one is estrogen, and fifth one is progesterone. And these hormones, all these hormones are very essential for the normal pregnancy. So these hormones are very necessary, very important for normal pregnancy. A hormone called relaxin, the name itself you can easily understand, relaxin. It helps to relax the uterus during the pregnant delivery time. Okay, so the hormone called relaxin also secrete secreted during the later phase of the pregnancy. Later phase means at the end of the 8th month or 9th month. So, the hormone called relaxin is also secreted at the later phase of the pregnancy, which helps in the relaxation of pelvic ligament. It helps to relax the pelvic ligament at the time of parturition. Parturition is nothing but the action of childbirth. Parturition is nothing but action of parturition is nothing but action of childbirth, that is delivery. Okay. So, the important hormone called relaxin, it is also secreted during the later phase of pregnancy. It plays a vital role in the relaxation of pelvic ligaments. Pelvic ligaments at the time of the childbirth. Clear? It should be noted that HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, and HPL and relaxin are produced only during pregnancy. So, these hormones, 3 hormones are produced only during pregnancy. In addition, during pregnancy, the level of other hormones such as estrogen and progesterone, cortisol, prolactin, thyroxine, etc. is increased. So, apart from these 3 hormones, the other hormones such as progesterone, estrogen, relaxin, prolactin, cortisol, thyroxine, all these hormones also has in increased level, increased several folds in the maternal blood. So, all these hormones are also increased in the mother's blood. So, these hormones are essential for supporting fetal growth. So, these hormones, what are the hormones? Estrogen, progesterone, relaxin, cortisol, prolactin and thyroxine, etc. All these hormones are essential for the supporting of the developing fetus. So, support for the fetus development. Thank you children. We will see in the next class.